The fact is that anyone can become a millionaire. Yes, anyone. And I'm not talking about only people with genius levels of IQ or superhuman work ethic or family money. I'm talking about regular people just like you watching this video right now. Now, on paper, building wealth is actually simple. It's consistent, disciplined investing over time that compounds into massive wealth. The math is pretty straightforward. If you were to invest $100 a month with an initial investment of $11,000 and you get an average 10% annual return, which is basically the stock market average over the long term, you're looking at $1 million over a few decades. This is what the data shows us. But here's the biggest problem. It takes forever. Most people can't wait 60 years to see their wealth accumulate. They want to live their lives now, not when they're 70, 80, 90 years old and the best years of their life are behind them. And honestly, I get it. The classic approach of waiting decades to get rich works. But it's not the only path, and it's definitely not the fastest path. That's why, if I were starting from scratch today, I'd pair strategic long-term investing with strategies to increase my income dramatically and fast, like starting a business. This combination accelerates your wealth building and also lets you actually enjoy your life now instead of postponing everything until retirement. So let me break down exactly what I'd do differently if I had to start over from zero. My name's Fred and I built a high-ticket consulting business that made me my first 1K day at 21 and $2,600 a day in profit at 22. Step 1 is saving strategically, not obsessively. Look, saving money is absolutely the first step. But there's a huge difference between saving smart and making yourself miserable by pinching every single penny. I see so many people who refuse to go buy a coffee or go out with friends because they're trying to save every dollar and then they wonder why they hate their life. Well, that's not the goal. The goal of saving money is to build a foundation that funds opportunities to grow your wealth, like starting your own business or making investments that actually move the needle. Investing in learning high-income skills. Saving 10% a year of your income can be realistic for most people. Obviously, the exact amount depends on your lifestyle and your priorities, but somewhere in that range is achievable without making yourself miserable. Here's what people get wrong. They think saving is the end goal. It's not. Saving is a tool that gives you options. Extreme saving without leveraging that money to create income is actually a trap because you're just hoarding cash while inflation eats away at it and opportunities pass you by. The key is to save enough to start generating bigger returns by investing in yourself, your skills, and your ventures. That saved money should be working for you, not sitting in a checking account doing nothing. So yes, save money, but save it with purpose. Save it so you can deploy it strategically into things that multiply your wealth. If you want to discover how I've made thousands of dollars a day online, I've made a free training that will show you everything step by step. The link will be in the description. And for a limited time, you can also apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team. On that call, we'll see what's blocking you from making more money, and we'll give you a custom step-by-step plan so you can start your business today, even with $0 in startup capital, and get your first customers as quickly as possible. The link is in the description, but be quick because we have very limited spots and they fill up fast. Step 2 is taking calculated risks. Because here's the truth, comfort zones don't build wealth. Most people talk endlessly about wanting to be wealthy. They dream about financial freedom. They imagine what their life would be like with so much more money, but they never actually act on it because they're terrified to leave their comfort zone. I would know because I literally speak to hundreds of people who want to build profitable businesses every single year. I'm talking about regular 9-to-5 workers who know they want more than the cookie cutter path of just working a job you hate just to pay your bills, your taxes, and have some fun once a year for 2 weeks on your vacation, which is spent on a budget, and that's it. Some people are actually more ambitious than that. But even within ambitious people, 99% won't take action, or they will quit at the slightest obstacle. That's why only 1% makes it. To actually grow financially, to make $10,000 a month online, or to get rich, you must be willing to take calculated risks. And I want to be clear here. I'm not talking about reckless gambling. I'm not talking about throwing your life savings into some random cryptocurrency because someone on Twitter told you to. That would be pretty irresponsible. I'm talking about the deliberate allocation of time, money, and energy into ventures with real potential upside. This could be investing in starting a business. It could be spending money to learn a high-income skill that increases your earning potential. It could be exploring new opportunities that have risk, but also real reward. Understanding opportunity cost is absolutely crucial here. Every hour you spend scrolling on social media or watching Netflix is an hour You're not building a business or a system that will make you more money while you sleep. Every dollar you spend on entertainment or stuff you don't need, like the latest iPhone when you can't even afford it, is a dollar you can't invest in your growth, in making more money for the future. I'm not saying never have fun or never relax. I'm saying be intentional about where your time and money go. Taking strategic risks is what separates people who just dream from people who actually achieve massive things, people who become filthy rich. Most people won't stay comfortable, they won't stay safe, and they won't stay broke. Don't be like most people. Step 3 is doing your research, because investing blindly is the fastest way to lose everything. If you don't understand a market, an investment, or a business model, your risk goes through the roof. You're basically gambling at that point. Success comes from continuous learning. Read books, take courses, study proven strategies from people who've actually built wealth, not just people who talk about it on the internet. Even legendary investors like Warren Buffett read hundreds of pages every single day to make informed decisions. The guy is worth billions and he's still learning constantly. That should tell you something. The principle is simple. The more you learn, the more you make money because you make better decisions, and that grows your wealth. Every investment choice you make, every business decision should be grounded in knowledge, experience, not hype, not luck, not hoping it's gonna work, not some guru's promise. Do the work to understand what you're putting your money into. If someone can't explain an investment to you in simple terms, it's probably not worth your money. And if you can't explain it to someone else after researching it, you don't understand it well enough yet. Knowledge reduces risk. Ignorance increases it. It's that straightforward. So commit to being a constant learner. Your financial education is the best investment you'll ever make because it pays dividends on every decision you make for the rest of your life. Step 4 is avoiding hype and sticking to tangible, long-term assets. Listen, I know it's tempting to chase trends. Everyone wants to find the next big thing that makes them rich overnight. But here's what actually builds lasting wealth. Stocks, real estate, proven business models. These are assets that have existed for decades, will exist for decades more, even centuries more, and consistently generate returns. They maintain purchasing power over time. Yeah, they can be boring, but they work. Speculative ventures like NFTs or whatever the next hot trend is might occasionally pay off for some people, but they're not a foundation for building lasting wealth. Think about them like lottery tickets, not investment strategies. 80% of the time, invest in proven assets, and 20% of the time, fine, go invest into NFTs and stuff you think is hot and trendy. Maybe you'll hit it big, who knows? But be prepared to lose that money, it's like gambling. Most successful investors follow a simple rule. 80% of their portfolio goes into stable, proven assets. 20% can go into higher risk, higher reward experiments if you want. This balances security with opportunity. You never risk losing everything. You've got a solid foundation that's growing steadily, and you also have some room to take bigger swings that might actually 10x your net worth if you get lucky. But that foundation is crucial. Without it, all you're doing is gambling with your future, and I don't recommend that. The assets that will make you wealthy are the ones that will still exist and still be valuable in 50 years. Focus on those and ignore the hype. Ignore the FOMO. Stick to what actually works and is proven to work for the long term, and you'll be far ahead of people chasing every new shiny object. If you want to discover how I've made thousands of dollars a day online, I've made a free training that will show you everything step by step. The link will be in the description. And for a limited time, you can also apply to book a free call with me or a member of my team. On that call, we'll see what's blocking you from making more money, and we'll give you a custom step-by-step plan so you can start your business today, even with $0 in startup capital, and get your first customers as quickly as possible. The link is in the description, but be quick because we have very limited spots and they fill up fast. Step 5 is leveling up by starting a business and reinvesting profits. If your goal is to build wealth as quickly as possible, and I'm assuming it is since you're watching this video, investing alone isn't enough. Starting a business, especially an online business, is the fastest route to real wealth. A business multiplies your earning potential far beyond what a traditional job or passive investing alone can achieve. Think about it. In a job, you're capped by your salary, and maybe you get some annual raises once in a while. With investing, you're limited by how much you can save and contribute. But with a business, your earning potential is essentially unlimited. You can scale, you can leverage systems and people. You can create value that compounds exponentially. Start small. You don't need to quit your job tomorrow and go all in. In fact, I don't recommend that. Begin with something manageable, reinvesting your earning backs. Avoid taking on debt if possible. Minimize unnecessary spending, like you don't need the latest iPhone, I've got a shitty $100 phone. Like come on, and reinvest as much as you can back into your growth. Wealth building is kind of like a video game with levels. Level 1 is reducing your expenses and saving consistently, but we don't stop there. Level 2 is starting to generate income independently through a side business or a venture. Level 3 is scaling that business and compounding your wealth through both business profits and smart investments. Each level builds on the previous one. You can't skip steps, but if you do follow these steps, it will allow you to achieve financial freedom way faster than investing passively in the stock market alone. So here's what I'd do if I started from scratch today and I wanted to get rich in my 20s. I'd save strategically, probably aiming at 20 to 30% of my income initially, enough to build a foundation without making myself miserable. I would take calculated risks by investing time and money into learning high-value skills and exploring online business opportunities that align with my strengths and also are highly profitable. I'd commit to learning constantly, reading books, taking courses, gaining mentors, and understanding the fundamentals of wealth building so every decision I make is informed. I'd ignore the hype, the noise, the trendy shit, and I'd focus 80% of my investment energy on proven long-term assets like index funds and real estate while leaving 20% for higher risk, higher reward opportunities. But most importantly, if I wanted to get rich in my 20s all over again, I would start a business as soon as possible. And even if you make small profits from the business, reinvest everything in it so you can grow it quicker. The best kind of business you can start is an online business. This combination of smart investing and also active income generation is what separates people who get rich slow from people who achieve financial freedom in their 20s or 30s. The traditional path of working for 40 years and hoping your retirement account is enough, well, that might work for some people, but it's slow and you won't miss out on living your best life during your prime years, your 20s and 30s. The path I'm describing here, where you start an online business, lets you build wealth much quicker while actually enjoying the journey. You're not waiting until you're 60, 80, 90 years old to finally live and have freedom. You're having freedom now. Look, your future self is watching the decisions you make today. Every dollar you save or waste, every hour you invest or squander, every risk you take or avoid is shaping your financial future. Most people will keep doing what's easy, what's comfortable, what everyone else does, and they will get the same results everyone else gets, which is nothing. But if you're willing to think differently, to act strategically, and to commit to consistent growth, learning, reinvesting your money, you can build actual wealth faster than you think. If you want me to personally help you to build a profitable online business, check out the free training I made for you in the description below. And you can also apply to book a call with me or a member of my team, and we'll help you to implement everything step by step, even with limited time and money. With that being said, I'll see you on the other side.